Yours me, your boy, Shonen Boy here today. I'm here today to talk about the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter 1044, A Warrior of Liberation. So, I just got done reading the chapter. I'm gonna go through it with you guys, and oh my god, this is already a 10 out of 10 chapter. This is already a 10 out of 10 chapter, and oh man, Oda, you've made my day. You have made my day, and you are the GOAT. The last 3 chapters have been fire. You have been the GOAT for the last 3 chapters, and this chapter again, Oda knocks it out of the park, and oh my god, Let's just get into the chapter because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but I'm pretty sure if you haven't been spoiled yet, I don't think anybody can be could not go into this chapter without being spoiled on something, because there was so many spoilers and things getting posted and people making videos and everything like that. The hype for this chapter was immeasurable. The hype that was happening for last chapter I thought was a lot, but this chapter was just every single YouTuber that does One Piece was just making a video left, right, and center, making theories and everything like that, and oh man, I am so glad that I am a One Piece fan. I am so glad that I am reading One Piece now, because honestly, this is the most hypest and most anticipated thing I have ever read and have ever wanted to read in my entire life. And I am so happy that I'm a One Piece fan. I am so happy. But let's get straight into this chapter. So the cover page is Niji and Yonji go to some science room where they're going to be cut up into little pieces and tested on. So sorry, Niji and Yonji, but you're going to die. But yeah. And it says, an emotional voyage, Mama is away on her trip, begin the experiments. So, they're going to experiment on the Germa 66, and if they're I don't know if they're going to gain any knowledge or anything like that, how to clone people or something like that. That'd be kind of cool, or make super soldiers like the Niji and Yonji are. That'd be cool, and you get to see some other characters that I have not seen before. We get to see a fishman girl with a sort of tentacle. She has octopus sort of tentacles, and then you get to see another guy who's who's got a beer gut, and he's got a really a long top hat, and he's got a knife in his hand. And then we got a scarecrow guy. He looks like a scarecrow. And then we've got a little girl in the front, and she's scary. She scares me, okay? She's got a knife on her hand and a bunny that's stitched up in the face. She is scary. I do not want to be anywhere near that little girl. She will kill me. But that is the cover page in a nutshell. I don't know how Niji and Yonji are going to get out of this or anything like that. And and also Oven is have fun. And I do not know how Niji and Yonji are going to get out of this. So yeah. But let's get straight into the chapter. So the first page of the chapter, we get to see Zunisha, and he is hearing he basically can hear the voice of all things, and same with Momonosuke, and same with everyone in this chapter. Can hear Luffy's voice, and his how do I put it, his awakening. Yeah, that's the best way I could describe it. His awakening. Everyone can feel Luffy's awakening to his true potential, his true power, and and it says like don't give up hope, Momonosuke, like Joy Boy has returned, like is that and that's what is that Luffy, is that Joy Boy, like it's already confirmed that Luffy is Joy Boy. Like this is confirming it and everything like that. So yeah, that's like the first page of the first panels, and then we get over to the other panels, and this is where like everyone is sensing Luffy's like awakening, and Sanji wakes up. So Sanji is awake, and he doesn't seem like he's being turned evil or anything like that, and the girl's like attending to him and everything like that, and he looks up at the roof and he says Luffy, and so does everyone else. Kid and Law say, and they, and then Hirogoro is like, is that you, Straw Hat Luffy? And then Marco is like, Straw Hat, he's still breathing. And then Nami and I always forget this little girl's name. Otama, I think her name is. Yeah, Otama. They're both crying and saying, "Yo, Big Bro is alive. Oh, Luffy's alive. He's breathing. Yay!" Because like in the last chapter, they Kaido said that Luffy's dead, and they're like, "No, Luffy's not dead. What are you talking about?" And now so yeah. And then moving on, then we move over to the Gorosei. Now, I do not know how the Gorosei know that Luffy is awakening, because like it's only now that the Gorosei give a shit about Luffy. Like you get my point? Like sure, yeah, Luffy was a a nuisance to them, and when he got his first bounty, the Gorosei were like, we got to look out for this kid, but they never really put like much focus on Luffy or anything like that, and and I don't know how the Gorosei are sensing that Luffy has awakened now, and only now have we got to kill him. Only now, since he's been awakened to his true power and his true Devil Fruit, they basically say what is going on and with Luffy's power. It's changing, and they change they basically changed the whole thing about the Gomu Gomu no Mi, because it was actually not a Paramecia, it's a Zoan type, and it's a mythical Zoan type. It is I'll read it to you. The Zoan type human fruit, a mythical type model Nika. So he has got the mythical, the human mythical Zoan fruit. I thought Sengoku. I thought Sengoku had like the human Daizuku Buddha or whatever you call it, but no. So Luffy has the upgraded version of Chopper's fruit, I assume, because Chopper has the human fruit, and it's just a normal human fruit. But Luffy has the mythical version of that, and it's the Sun God Nika. And in the other panel, you can see Luffy is jumping into the sun or the moon or whatever it is. I don't know what time of day it is. And you can see that you can see the outline of Luffy. He's in the silhouette of Sun God Nika. That little silhouette that we got from Oda, and it says the Nika, the Sun God, awakening to bring liberation. Liberation and greatness and physical strength and freedom it is to the world. And so I guess this fruit manipulates your body to and when you awaken this fruit, it makes you manipulate your body in certain ways to give you greatest strength, give you greatest physical and freedom and everything like that. And you can manipulate your body and with the properties of rubber and everything like that. And I'm pretty sure that with all the theories and everything like that, you can come to your own conclusion if you watch a couple of YouTube videos and everything like that. I'm I'm assuming that Luffy's fruit is still gonna be the rubber. It's still gonna be rubber based, but it's just because it's a Zoan type doesn't mean it's going to like change the fruit completely. It might, like it does change the fruit a lot when it comes to it becoming a mythical Zoan fruit, but also it doesn't really make sense at the same time because of the fact that like Luffy has always been a Paramecia. Sure, you can call him a special Paramecia fruit, but ever since we have, known Luffy, ever since he ate the devil fruit, he's been able to, stretch his body and everything like that. And I assume that, like, when it came to the Gorosei, they didn't really care about Luffy until now because he never awakened the devil fruit because the Gama Gama no Mi isn't that very, like, I want to say, special in its like, first state. Like, let's call it the first state when Luffy has the Gama Gama no Mi, okay? He can just stretch his body. And then in his second state, his gear second, he can sort of like dope his body, put his, get his blood pumping and everything like that. And he can go really, really fast and everything like that and punch really fast and everything like that. So that's his second state, his gear second. And then his third state is blowing into himself and expanding his body and everything like that. And that's his third state. And then gear fourth, which is his fourth state, he can expand his body, harden it with haki and everything like that, and go into that gear fourth to the state. And now he has the awaken ability after he got hit by Kaido, and now he's turned into the sun god Nika, and he's awakened his Devil Fruit. Now, I don't know everything about his Devil Fruit and how it sort of works because we haven't got all the details just yet, but I assume that he can, twist and expand his body, and he can do all these types of different things with his body now, and it's only now that the Gorosei actually care about Luffy and say, we gotta kill this guy, we gotta snuff out this light, we can't let him live. But at the same time, I don't understand why, of all times now, they would understand the threat of Luffy. Like, you get my point? Like, they had so long to send, people after Luffy and, try to kill him and everything like that. They tried so hard to capture Nico Robin and they didn't think to, like, oh yeah, let's kill Luffy right now, like back in Water 7 or something like that. You get my point? Like, I just don't see the whole point why the Gorosei didn't really go after Luffy if they knew, they probably knew, they had to have known that Luffy had the Gama Gama no Mi, and even though he wasn't awakened or anything like that, they would be like, shouldn't they have been like, this kid is a problem, he has the Gama Gama no Mi, and we've been out for this Devil Fruit for like 800 years and everything like that, and we've never been able to grab this fruit, this kid is eating it, why don't we kill him and then get the fruit, and then bing bada boom, we have the fruit. Like, I don't understand why the Gorosei haven't really gone after Luffy until now. It just seems kind of like, you're a bit late to the party, mate. It's weird, okay? But, that's basically what the Gorosei are talking about. They said that they've always wanted the Devil Fruit, the Gama Gama no Mi, and it's always eluded them for 800 years. And they say the other name of the Gama Gama no Mi is the Zoan type human fruit mythical model Nika. So, yeah. So, Luffy obviously didn't know what his fruit was back in the day. I guess he just called his fruit the Gama Gama no Mi because it is still the Gama Gama no Mi. Like, it's not changed, it hasn't changed its name completely. It's just changed from a Paramecia to now a Zoan, and it's got the it's got the same properties as rubber and everything like that. It's just been been awakened to the true power of the Gama Gama no Mi, which has changed it from a Paramecia to a Zoan type, and now he is Sun God Nika, which... Do you get all that? Do you get all that? Like, it's a lot to take in, honestly. It's a lot to take in, and honestly, I'm a bit like, what's going on? Seriously? What the fuck? But yeah. But moving on to the next page, so we go away from the Gorosei and Sun God Nika and all that sort of stuff. Now we go to Orochi and Hiyori. Now, this part I really like. This part was really good as well, but it's also a little bit out of nowhere. Like, it's a bit weird that Oda crams in the Hiyori stuff in the middle of this chapter, where we get the reveal of the Luffy being Sun God Nika and Joy Boy and everything like that, and he's awakening his Devil Fruit and all that sort of stuff, and it feels a little bit out of place, but we also, this is also a very good point, this is also a very good, part in the chapter. So yeah, so let's go over what happened. So Hiyori is talking to Orochi that is underneath some rubble, and he's like, he's trying to grovel at Hiyori's feet and trying to weasel his way out of this situation. And he's like, oh yeah, I love your father too, me and him, we were best buddies, we go way back. And then Hiyori's just like, shut the fuck up, don't you dare talk about my father. My father, held up the bargain that he struck with you. He danced in the street for 5 years, making a fool of himself. You held Wano hostage and everything like that, and you just spit on his name. He held his scabbards up in the boiling oil, and you and how dare you say about my father and everything like that. That's basically what Hiyori says to Orochi. She's just like, how dare you speak of my father in that way. He tried his damnedest to protect us, and you just spit all over his name and saying that you were friends and that you loved him and everything like that. Don't even talk about him. And Hiyori, moving on to the next page, Hiyori's got some she hates, Orochi. I feel like she is she's been suffering for so long, biding her time to get close to Orochi, get to this one point where she can finally exact her revenge on, the man that, killed his, her father. And it's just so, it's so, I don't know how to explain it, but it's so, her tears and her face and her facial expression and everything like that, the anger and the frustration and all that sort of stuff, and to get to this moment, biding her time and waiting for the right time to kill Orochi, stab him in the neck, and exact her revenge on the man that basically destroyed her life and killed her her parents and destroyed her country and everything like that. She must be so angry and so wanting to just fucking kill this guy. Yeah. So, and then she tells, she removes the mask, and she tells Orochi that, I am Kazuki Hiyori Oden, and hold your tongue, you connive, and Orochi's like, huh? What? And he's like, no matter what type of groveling or empty stomach you might, you will never be able to be the shogun of Wano. And she's coming towards him, and then I don't understand this part where Kanjuro is still alive. He's still kicking after so long, and he's like a little matchstick right now, and he's like, Lord Orochi, I have failed you. And it's like, and then Orochi's like, is that you, Kanjuro? Good. Jump into a kimono and burn this bitch. And it's like, and then out of nowhere, next page, he like jumps on Orochi and starts burning the shit out of him. And I was just like, oh, okay, like, sure, burn in hell. Like, you deserve this, Orochi. You deserve to be burned. Burn in hell. Like you did to Odin, like boiling him alive and everything like that. You deserve, 1,000 deaths and everything like that. And it's just weird, okay? And I don't know what Hiyori's gonna do, if she's just gonna stand there watching Orochi burn to death. But that's kind of like cold, but like at the same time, he deserves this, like, But I thought Hiyori was gonna be the one to like slit his throat or something like that. But I don't know. But yeah. And then after that, we see the silhouette of Luffy, and he's like, Yahoo! I can't, I can do anything now. I feel like I can, fight even longer. My heartbeat sounds so funny, and this is the pinnacle of what I can do. This is Gear 5th, and it's just like, and hearing Gear 5th from Luffy's, hearing Gear 5th from Luffy's like, mouth and everything like that, and we get to see Kaido, and he's like, what is going on in here? What's going on up there in the roof? And then out of nowhere, we see a massive fist grab fucking, Kaido, and he's like, huh? And then fucking Luffy just like, and just starts like flailing around fucking Kaido, and flinging him around, and everything like that. It's just, oh man. And then just the way that Kaido is drawn in this silly way where his eyes are like, coming out of his head, and he's being thrown around and everything like that, and Luffy's just like, flinging him around. It's honestly funny. It's the funniest shit ever. And then Kaido says like, oh, Straw Hat, you survived? What? And then he does a blast breath at Luffy, and this is the part where this is the end of the chapter, and this is the part where I was like, what the fuck's going on? Where Luffy grabs the actual ground and brings it up with him. So I guess he can manipulate the ground in some ways, and now it's become sort of like rubberish type of material where he can sort of bend it to his will and everything like that, and he pulls up the the sort of ground, and he blocks the blast breath. And then in the last chapter, we get to see him covering his face, and he's giggling like a monkey, and then we get to see his face, and his face has changed a little bit. His hair has become, I don't know, his hair is caught on fire, and he's got that, sort of smoke around his sort of like, around his head and around his body. And then he's also got, sort of Sanji-esque, eyebrows, where his eyebrows are like sort of twirling, and then he sort of looks at Kaido, and Kaido says to Luffy, I'm sorry about that idiot earlier. I didn't want to win that way. And then Luffy looks at Kaido and says, don't sweat it. Let's finish this. Let's, end this battle. And like, yo, like, that's the end of the chapter, but like, oh my god, like, this chapter is a 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 1,000 out of 1,000. Like, Oda, for the last 3 chapters, you have been on fire, you have been the GOAT, and this is the best thing ever. Like, you have made my day, and this is probably the best chapter in One Piece. Yeah. This is the best chapter in One Piece. I'm saying this right now. This is the best chapter in One Piece, and the hype is real, and I love it. And honestly, like, this chapter couldn't be any better. Like, I don't think that there's anything could top this. Like, honestly, the only thing that could really top this would be the reveal of One Piece, the actual treasure of One Piece, when we get to the very end of One Piece. But this right now is the best chapter of One Piece right now. So yeah. But that is my review or read through of the chapter, the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter 1044. This is your boy, Shonen Boy, signing out. Like and subscribe, comment down below. What was your favorite part about this chapter? Did you like this chapter, or did you dislike this chapter? If you dislike this chapter, what is wrong with you? Like, you are obviously not a One Piece fan. Like, it's like honestly, like, if you dislike this chapter, like, what the fuck's wrong with you? But like, yeah, but honestly, my favorite part would probably be the whole reveal of like Luffy and him, sort of like coming to his realization, and him saying Gear 5th, and we get to see, him manipulating his powers and everything like that. And also, there's no break next week. That is the main thing that I am so happy about, is that there's no break next week, and we can, get the next chapter next week. And oh my god, this fight, like, I cannot wait. The anticipation is killing me. I want the next chapter right now. Like, like, damn, seriously. But yeah, I will be probably doing a discussion video about this, Luffy, and what I think is going on with his Devil Fruit, and my theories and everything like that. I will try to probably do it tomorrow, and yeah. But that is the video in a nutshell. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later, and have an awesome day. Yo's me, your boy, Shonen Boy here today. I'm here today to do a discussion video about the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter One Piece 1044. The drum. I think it's the Warrior of Liberation. I think the name of the chapter was, yeah, Warrior of Liberation. And I mainly just want to go over the last last page of the chapter, and talk about Gear 5 and what does this mean for the story, for Luffy, what I want to see for this new form that Luffy's got, and anything else I want to talk about. So strap yourself in, and I'm gonna grab a drink or whatever, and let's discuss about Luffy's new form and his new awakening. So yeah, so let's get into what this means for the story first. So the story, this changes the story dramatically. Like, honestly, this changes the story dramatically for Luffy's power up, I guess you could say, because Luffy has got a new form, and now he has an awakened Zoan, a mythical Zoan type fruit. It's honestly a bit weird saying that Luffy's fruit is now a mythical Zoan and not a Paramecia. It's very like, what the fuck's going on? Seriously, like, what the hell? And then like, now he can manipulate the environment around him, and like in the last page of the chapter, he's manipulating the ground, turning into rubber, and he sort of picks it up, and he blocks Kaido's blast breath, and then you can see him covering his eyes, and he has like fire or something on his hair, and then he has like the sort of like a ring around his neck, and his underneath his armpits, and that's it. Like, that's the design of Gear 5 in a nutshell. And his shirt is no longer like, it's sort of like white, it's not black, but yeah. But and Luffy's gone all cartoonish and everything like that. I think that's just an art style, but like, you get my point. Like, it's a very dramatic change, and a dramatic power up. It's not too dramatic. Like, it's not too dramatic to the point where it's just like, what is this? What the fuck's going on? Like, oh my god. Like, you know, it's fun and it's goofy, and it's exactly like what I thought it was going to be when it came to, like, One Piece, because, you know, when it comes to, like, power-ups and everything like that, you know, some animes go for the whole, like, you know, cool anime type of, like, you know, main character, like, he gets a super ultra, you know, power-up and everything like that, but with One Piece, it's more goofy, it's more on the cartoonish side, and, like, when we got the reveal of Gear 4, a lot of people were like, this is dumb, this is stupid, and then they saw the power of Gear 4 and all the, you know, abilities and everything like that Luffy, you know, did with Gear 4, and everyone was like, oh, okay, now I like Gear 4, and now, like, okay, Gear 4 is cool now. And that's the thing with Gear 5. You know, a lot of people have been saying, like, oh, you know, this is an ass pull. You know, Gear 5 is stupid. He can manipulate anything. He can manipulate the ground. And this is the most ridiculous, you know, fruit of all time. And, like, you know, this is, you know, and now he's a god. He ate the, you know, mythical Zoan human fruit, model Nika. Like, you know, I assume, like, there's a lot of information that was thrown at us, and everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like that's literally, I think, what's going on, honestly, because I feel like that's what's going on, where everyone is just scrambling to figure out what the fuck's going on in the latest chapter of One Piece, and everyone's just flabbergasted, and everyone's trying to, like, piece together what's going on, and it's honestly, like, even me, I am trying to piece together what the fuck's going on in this chapter, because honestly, like, it's crazy. Like, for story revelations, this is amazing, and I don't know what to think, honestly, and yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. Honestly, I'm fine with, you know, Gear 5 and everything like that, and him being able to manipulate the whole ground and everything like that, pull it up and do all that sort of stuff, maybe even do the same similar stuff to, like, Katakuri and everything like that, but I do not like the whole mythical Zoan type devil fruit type of thing. That seems kind of lame and kind of stupid, because, like, he was a Paramecia all this time for 25 years, pretty much. Like, we were almost at the 25th anniversary of One Piece, but he has been a Paramecia ever since he ate the Gum fruit at the start of the series. And now, all of a sudden, at the very, you know, the tail end of Wano, I'm pretty sure we're at the tail end of Wano. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we're at the tail end of Wano. But, like, only now has he awakened his devil fruit, and now it's changed from a Paramecia to a, you know, a mythical Zoan fruit, and now he is a god. He's the sun. He has ate the sun god Nika fruit. Like, what? Like, what? It's honestly, like, crazy what what Oda does sometimes, and I'm just like, what's going on? Seriously, what is this? Like, yeah, but I like it, and I know some people will probably not like it and think this is an ass pull and this is dumb and stupid, but, you know, that's your own opinion, and and if you have that, opinion, and that's fine, you can have that, like, you know, this is an ass pull, this is stupid, you know, this is too, you know, cartoonish and outlandish, but I honestly think that you should just give it a good couple of, like, chapters to see at the end of Wano, and then give your final takes on Gear 5, because I think Gear 5 is going to have to grow on all of us, and so far, like, I'm okay with the form, but so far it's okay. Like, I don't have too many issues with it or anything like that. I just want to see what Luffy can do with the form, because let's move into what can the power do and what does this mean for the fight. So Luffy can manipulate the ground and pull it up at his will and everything like that. I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming that he can go in and out of his gears without any problems. Like he can go into gear second and be really fast. He can blow and he can not really blow, but like he can manipulate his body to gigantify his arms and everything like that at will, and he can go into Gear 4th and Gear 4 Snake Man and maybe even Tank Man. I don't even know what Luffy can do in this new form, but maybe he can do all three forms and go in and out of those forms at will, and he doesn't have to power down or anything like that, and he can just keep going. Who knows? But that'd be really cool if he could do that. If he could go in and out of his forms, and he could go into Bound Man, Snake Man, or even Tank Man, and he doesn't have to slow down. He can interchange with those forms, and he doesn't have to put that much stress on his body or anything like that, and he can go into Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd, and he can use Haki and everything like that freely. He's opened he's opened the vault, and now he knows everything. This is the same thing when he figured out how to use Conqueror's Haki and Fusion into his moves. He unlocked the secret chest and unlocked the vault, and now with this new Gear 5, he's opened the book to a whole new power set and everything like that. It's crazy. Luffy after Wano is gonna be Yonko level. Honestly, yeah, Luffy after Wano, Luffy's gonna be Yonko level, and he will be able to tangle with the big dogs Kaido, Big Mom. Well, he's already tangling with Kaido anyways, but he can tangle with Shanks and Blackbeard and all the heavy hitters, Akainu. He can tangle with all the heavy hitters in the One Piece world, and he can give him a decent fight, and he doesn't have to go through the whole I have to defeat you 3 or 4 times to actually defeat you. It's no, after Wano he can actually fight Kaido one-on-one when Kaido is at full strength. Maybe I don't know when it comes to Kaido at his full strength if he versus Luffy right now, because it's still a bit iffy, because Kaido has been doing so much work in this fight. He's been doing so much work. He's had to fight the Scabbards, fight Luffy a couple of times. He had to fight Yamato. He's had to fight so many people to get to this point, and and he's still putting out some gas, some moves, and he's still fighting after all this time. And Kaido's a beast. Kaido is a tank, and he will. I don't know what's going to happen now, if some people are going to join in on the fight and help Luffy, Marco or some other people might help Luffy or anything like that. I don't want Kid and Law to help Luffy in this fight, because I want Kid and Law to stay out of it, and they're spent, they're done. But I just want Luffy to be the main person to deliver the final blow to Kaido, and I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. But honestly, when it comes to his power and everything like that, honestly, I think we'll have to wait and see when it comes to Luffy's power and what I think is going to be like. Can he do the stuff that Katakuri can do, become intangible and manipulate the surroundings? He in the chapter, he manipulates his surroundings by pulling up the ground. So maybe, but I highly I don't know if he's like Katakuri sort of thing where he can manipulate his Devil Fruit and like and become intangible like a Logia. And no, I don't think that he has like the all Devil Fruits. Like he has a Logia, Paramecia, and a Zoan. That seems kind of like a bit out there if he has all the Devil Fruits, like all the different Devil Fruits and everything like that. I'm fine with him just being a mythical Zoan type fruit, and he didn't know the true power of his fruit, I guess, and he now has awakened his a true Devil Fruit and everything like that. That's okay, that's fine. But like when it comes to like him, like when he by changing his fruit, it becomes a whole new thing, honestly. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, can he eat a Rumble Ball now? Like, honestly, like one of Chopper's Rumble Balls. I would honestly like to see that. Because now he's a Zoan type. Can he eat one of the Rumble Balls? Who knows? That'd be really interesting and really cool if, like, Luffy pops a Rumble Ball and, like, changes, forms and does all, like, this weird shit. Like, I don't know. Like, it would be interesting, but I highly doubt it's ever going to come, come up. But, like, yeah. But when it comes to his power and what this means for the fight, honestly, this is a big, this is big. This is a big story revelation, a big, power up and everything like that. And honestly, we're probably going to have to wait and see for the next chapter what the powers can do and everything like that. I hope what my hope is for this power is that he can manipulate the surroundings around him, like pulling up the ground and doing the whole like rubber world and everything like that. That's cool. That's fine. And he can freely interchange his body from like Gear 4th and Gear second and Gear 3rd, and use Haki freely without the restraints and without the stress on his body and everything like that. And he can sort of mold his body for like gigantification sort of stuff when it came to his like arms and legs and everything like that, and maybe going giant Luffy, who knows. But yeah, but that's my hope for the power. I put your comments down below. What do you think the power is, and what do you think is going to happen in the next chapter and everything like that? Honestly, when it comes to this power and the story revelations and everything like that, this is crazy. This is big and everything like that. And yeah. Now let's move on to how long do I think the fight is going to last. Now, I feel like this fight is going to go on for another, I want to say 5 chapters at max, I hope. Like, yeah, I'd say give it another 5 chapters at max, and I think the fight will be over. Yeah, I think either next chapter or the chapter after that, like maybe 2 or 3 chapters after that, we might see the end of Kaido versus Luffy, and that would be it, and that would be the end of the fight and the raid of Onigashima. They win the day, they win the battle, and then Wano is liberated and everything like that. And then I guess we move into the final saga of One Piece. I still don't think we're in the final saga. We might be. I think that at the end of Wano, we probably will be in the final saga, but we won't be in the final like arc or anything like that. I think we still got to focus on like the Revolutionary Army and the world government and everything like that, and maybe Sabo and Vivi and all that sort of stuff, that all the stuff that's going outside of Wano that's been happening. And then like after that we can focus on Raph till the final arc of One Piece, whatever. But yeah, but I do believe that after Wano we are gonna get into the end game of One Piece, and it is gonna be like the final saga of One Piece. And and it's very scary to get to this particular point in the story right now, where Luffy has, gained a new gear 5th, and we're getting close to the end of Wano, and we're gonna, finally get into the final saga of One Piece. This is scary. This is uncharted waters. This is uncharted territory, and oh my god, what the fuck? Honestly, I am just stoked. I am so hyped and so stoked, and so ready for what's going to happen next. Honestly, this is crazy, and I am so here for it, and I just want to see the next chapter, honestly. And I think Luffy can defeat Kaido now, and can he? I honestly think that he's at the end of Wano, he's probably going to be Yonko level, but I'm pretty sure he's at Admiral, Admiral sort of level before going into, Yonko level. I'm pretty sure he can go toe-to-toe with Akainu and give him a fair fight. And same with Fujitora or Kizaru or, any of those admirals. I'm pretty sure Luffy can go one-on-one with those guys and give them a good fair fight. And then when it comes to the Yonko, I think maybe Luffy might be able to go one-on-one with maybe Big Mom. And I don't know if Luffy can defeat her or any of the admirals. Maybe, I don't know. But this is a big power-up and a big story revelation and everything like that. And oh my god, this is crazy. Goddamn, man. This is crazy. I don't know I don't know. My words are just babbling at this point, and I'm just flabbergasted. But yeah, that is my thoughts on the chapter and what I think about Gear 5th and what my hopes are for it, and the story revelations and what this means, and what this means for Luffy, and the how long do I think this fight's going to last? Probably 5 chapters at the max. Who knows? But yeah, that is basically my thoughts on the chapter. And also the Hiyori stuff is really cool and everything like that, but I feel like it's going to be overshadowed by this stuff, and I think Hiyori next chapter should just watch Orochi burn to death, and then that is basically it. Or maybe she might stab Orochi in the head, or who knows. But honestly, when it comes to the Hiyori stuff, it was cool, but honestly I feel like it should have been its own chapter. And then this, maybe next week it should have been Hiyori's chapter, and then and this week it should have been Gear 5th, the reveal of Gear 5th, but who knows. But honestly, that is basically my thoughts on the chapter alone, and my in a nutshell. This is your boy Shonen Boy signing out. Like and subscribe, comment down below what was your favorite part about this chapter. What do you think about Gear 5th? Do you like Gear 5th or do you not like Gear 5th? Do you think this is an ass pull? Do you think this is too goofy, too outlandish for you, or do you love this gear? Do you think it's gonna be this whole new world, a whole new a whole new world that's opened up for Luffy, a whole new move set. He can freely manipulate his body without any constraints, and he can go out of Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd and Gear 4th and do all this shit and everything like that, and he's become a god. Just put your thoughts in the comments down below, and honestly I am so glad about being a One Piece fan, and this is hype. I am so happy right now. But anyways, until next time, I'll talk to you guys later, and have an awesome day.